Really to earn a good sum of money for my family. 2 years ago, my dad was diagnosed with cancer. So, as we all know, um, cancer is really a troublesome disease. And it was not so good news to hear coming from my mom. And to make the case worse, they are not living here in the Philippines. Actually, they are living in the United States. So I do not have the chance to take care of my dad. Also, I could not tell them to go back home because I know for a fact that treating cancer here in the Philippines can be costly. And to be honest, we do not have much money for that kind of treatment. And because of that, I sent my CV to different agencies, hoping that this would be my ticket to work outside the country and earn money for my dad's treatment. Luckily, this agency messaged me back and helped me get a job offer from one of the many hospitals in Ireland. However, one of the requirements for my application to push through was the IELTS exam. And my apprehension back then was, what will happen to me should I fail this exam? Before I knew that my father was sick, I actually took the exam once, alright? However, I thought being able to speak and write using the English language is actually enough. Never I thought that preparation is very important. So, to cut the story short, my first take from another test center was an epic fail. Although my OBS back then was 7, my writing was 6.5. So, hindi ako nag-qualify. Then that was my wake-up call. After a year, I took the exam again and made some preparations. And this time, I successfully nailed it. This will not be possible without the help and support from British Council. Actually, it was a friend of mine who actually suggested taking the IELTS exam in British Council. Good thing I did. British Council has excellent customer service, starting from test scheduling to claiming of the results. Well, their personnel will aid you in every aspect of the process. The road to passing the IELTS exam is not easy, especially if the module you will be taking is academic. It requires dedication and certainly hard work. But with the help and support of the British Council, I was able to overcome all the fears and apprehensions I had with this exam. They have a wide array of references you can utilize in their office. Also, their staff are very accommodating. I still remember the time when I finally decided to take the exam. The staff who assisted me for test scheduling, how do I say this, was very polite and very helpful. And during the exam day itself, their personnel made sure that all candidates were well assisted. And when the result was out, it was very convenient because I just browsed the internet and I was able to immediately view the result of my exam. Well, passing the IELTS exam and nailing it opened a number of opportunities in my life. I was able to proceed with my application abroad, and now I am just waiting for my deployment. Also, since I just recently resigned from my clinical job, last February 12th actually, my IELTS TRF, particularly my 8.5 in speaking and OBS of 8, was the key to be able to work in one of the top performing IELTS review center in the Philippines. Okay. And yun. And then also, I get the chance to work part-time as an English tutor and was able to meet a lot of people from various walks of life. Being an IELTS passer made me realize that I may be a nurse by profession, but I can also be an educator if I want to. You see, my mother was actually a teacher, and she is my inspiration, and I aspire to be like her. IELTS made it possible for me to become a nurse and an educator at the same time. It made my dreams turn into a reality. In the future, well, aside from being a full-time nurse abroad, I would still want to continue teaching and imparting knowledge about the English language. So, for you test takers, I would like to share some tips on how to pass the exam. Basically, there are three cornerstones in acing this exam. First is dedication. This is not an easy exam, so you really need to commit. Your commitment will determine your success. If you lack commitment to any endeavor you have, then of course, chances are you will fail. Second is preparation and practice. Preparation and practice are essential to passing the exam. Gather credible and up-to-date review materials to give you a direction on what topic you should be reviewing. Also, no matter how tight or busy your schedule is, you really have to find time to practice. If you do not practice, how will you able to improve your skills? Lastly, feedback. For some, constant practice is enough. However, this is not sufficient. You have to seek feedback from someone who is knowledgeable to determine if you have improved. Also, receiving feedback will give you direction as to what areas or skills you should focus, develop, and improve on. So basically, those are the things that I did in order to pass the exam. Dead air. So let me just share you some of the pictures about my IELTS journey. Uh, so yeah. Ayan. So this picture, ang dami. So the first one is actually a picture taken from our coaching center. I was with my with other coaches, and then the second picture was a staff from the National Library. Whenever I do a writing practice, I often go to the National Library to write there. I find the ambience and the silence in that place very conducive. What else? I mean conducive, sorry. And that was actually my last charting from the hospital. So ayan, endorsed, Mick Pineda. And so those are my colleagues in that hospital. Oh, she's actually a friend of mine who helped me in my study and my review. We practice and then we have conversations in English from time to time. Sometimes we go to a coffee shop since there actually we don't have a place, an actual place where we could practice. It's just a hospital. It's just things that I use in the hospital. So that's me wearing my uniform back then. Yeah, he's my friend. Oh, the girl in the middle, she's actually my best friend. She's a Phil-Am. So basically, she aided me in my study and my practice during my review for the IELTS exam, particularly in the speaking part. So I think oh, that's my mom and my dad. So basically, my dad is already not necessarily cured, but I'm not. I forgot the term, but he's doing fine as of the moment. So I'm very happy, and that's actually my that's actually my mom. So as you can see, they look happy naman. So I'm happy as well. So basically, to wrap it up, IELTS was my golden ticket for my international application to push through. Also, it gave me the opportunity to become a nurse and an educator at the same time. And basically, all of this will never be possible without the aid of the British Council. I hope I was able to inspire you in some way. Again, this is Michelangelo Pineda. Thank you very much for listening. Have a nice day.
Thank you, Michelangelo. So for those of you who have any questions about his experience or also about